This is James Kalm again, the bike. Welcoming you all back for another rainy, half-assed production. And this evening I'm coming to you from Werkstätte Gallery. We're going to run in and take a look at A.I.R. Gallery, Retrospective 1972 to 1979. This is a historical recreation of the world-famous first women's cooperative gallery in Soho. Oh, let's check it out. Well, they've got a huge exhibition out at PS1 now called WAC, Women's Artists Coalition. And many of these artists are represented out there. This is really fantastic that they were able to get all these ladies together and showcase this history-making group of young female artists. This piece is by Barbara Zucker. It's called Advancing Forms, 1974, cast elastic.
You know Donna Byers?
It's really wonderful that this gallery has taken the time to put a show like this together. A lot of these women are getting up in age, and they actually played a very important part in the whole New York art scene and the development of feminist thought downtown. We get a couple of pieces by Howardina Pendel. He was also featured in the High Times, Hard Times show that was up at the National Academy last year. This is by Donna Byers, right?
Yes, exactly. It's great.
It's called Rabbit Pen Reclamation. This is a great piece. This actually looks very contemporary. This could have been in the New Museum's Unmonumental show.
Yeah, it's really surprising to me how much this feels both so fully taken into art as it's practiced now and how it still feels so cutting edge.
What's your name?
I'm Rebecca. I'm the gallery intern.
So you're sort of protecting the pieces here so nobody bashes into them.
It's the most important job in the gallery, making sure no one bumps
I believe
the art.
it. Thank you. A very subtle set of pieces here by Loretta Duckelman, 1976. This is by Agnes Denise Donut, 1976. Agnes has become well known as a kind of a conceptual earth artist. She was a wonderful draftsperson, and she was doing all this stuff by hand. Nowadays, people designing things like this with a computer, it's not so extraordinary, but when you realize that she did this with protractors and pen and ink, it's really quite an accomplishment as draftsmanship. I love these pieces. This is a portrait by Sylvia Soriano, Sybil Abish sculptor, 1978. Sylvia did a whole series of portraits and group portraits of a lot of artists. Many of them were women artists. Some of them were in this group. She really documented an entire era of the art world. said, I love these pieces. They're by Mary Gregorides. And these also have been a very influential part of the pattern decorative movement. But I think what is great about these is that she really uses the way the paint strokes are laid out and the whole painterly narrative of putting these paintings together to build on the purely decorative design. I saw these when I first got to New York. They really knocked me out. And now we're talking with Patsy Norvell. Now, you were one of the founding members of A.I.R. and you also helped organize the show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what it was like being involved with the gallery and getting it off the ground in the beginning?
I was not one of the very first people, but I was within the founding 20 people who started. So it was extremely exciting and very, in some ways difficult, but we had to build the space. We learned how to put up walls. People shared knowledge, and then it was an amazing experience in the neighborhood because it was when Soho was just beginning, and
that's right.
The turnout was just phenomenal for the openings at A.I.R. and for the Monday night programs that we ran, and it was a real event then and very significant.
Now, do you think that A.I.R. was basically dealing with feminist ideas, or were they more just interested in being women artists or artists that were women and sort of making the art, or was it more important to be a feminist?
I don't think that people in the gallery were militant feminists. They were women artists who wanted to show. But any woman who is showing work and is actively doing something, it has to basically be a feminist. My definition of a feminist is not a militant
Marxist kind of ideologue.
No.
Right, good. Now, we're also standing in front of your piece here, and this is made out of hair, right? And this is, what year is this?
1973. This is a piece that was made from a theater group called the Medicine Show, and it's from all of the members of that group's hair. I gave haircuts. So this was a portrait of that group.
That's great. Anyway, the installation is by Judith Bernstein. Bill Copley's bedroom, 1977. Let's see what we got in the cowboy boots. Speakers. Judith Bernstein was well known for these large drawings of screws. This is by Rachel Bass Coyne. Spool grid and distortions from the rubber. It's a little installation of drawings by Dottie Addy.
Gorky always gridded his drawings. This one has no grid.
How about that? Plus, Gorky's grown up some in that one. This piece is by Anna Mendieta. Luthor Works, Iowa. Anna Mendieta is one of the tragedies of the New York art world. This is James Kalm reporting from Werkstätte on Great Jones Street and the A.I.R. Gallery Retrospective 1972 to 1979. One of the most historic and important exhibitions happening in New York today. Thanks, Kate.